Today I want to bring to light some conversations that have been murmuring around in the community when it comes to the talks of potential players who are coming to Collingwood in Tomlinson, in Membrey, and the assumption is that if these players come in to Collingwood, they would likely serve as a backup to Billy Frampton, to Charlie Dean for Tomlinson. And then for Membrey, it would be a backup to Darcy Cameron, Mason Cox, Myercheck, McStay, the key tall, domain. But my presupposition, now, this is where I want to extend my thoughts out and let you pick at it and give me feedback, because in my eyes, guys, wouldn't you be bringing in these players to make your 23 better when you look at the age demographic we've targeted here, with Tomlinson being in his 30s, Membrey's in his 30s? But you guys, but the general public is saying they're just going to be backup players. For me, it's a little bit bewildering. It does not make sense to have these players waiting in the wings when they're supposed to be players coming in to make a squad better, particularly if they're delisted free agents at this age. Membrey kicked 30 goals this year. Tomlinson had some opportunities at Melbourne. If we look at Membrey, what does that do? Well, it does make a tight squeeze for our forward line, which has traditionally been an unconventional forward line for the good part of the last 5 years without true recognised key tools before McStay came in. So that could, at the same time, also affect the synergy in that forward line. Well, what do you in my best 23? I had to squeeze in Membrey, Cox, Cameron, Myercheck, and McStay into the same team because I don't see a Collingwood side, doing as well as they possibly could without Mason Cox in the side. So what do? You telling me Membrey's going to be a VFL player even though he was offered a 1-year extension? He kicked 18 goals in the last 6 games for St Kilda. It's just an interesting decision, right? And we'll get to the devil's advocate side in a moment because I can play that side too, right? It also hinders Reef McInnes's opportunity to establish himself as that third key tall forward. With Nathan Kruger gone, Ash Johnson sort of left in the dark at the moment in the sense that, well, he's not coming to the table from a performance side of things, so he's not really in the picture. McInnes is probably saying, okay, hold on, I'm still on the list. I'm probably going to get another contract extension. Whether it's on the senior list or rookie list doesn't really matter. I'm a chance here. But then you bring in Membrey, right? So I have some qualms with the ideas of bringing these players in. In my mind, what I want you guys to understand is, if I see Membrey coming in to Collingwood, for me, it doesn't make sense not to have him in the starting team. Otherwise, why not just reserve those spots for a preseason supplementary period or a mid-season draft where you can bring in young, budding, aspirational players while also remaining in the window? We've already done that with Perriman and Houston. So it's an interesting conversation, which is why I want to bring this up now, because I know there's two sides to the conversation, right? And then Tomlinson, if we're bringing him in as well, does he not play round one? We've already tried Frampton. We've seen the best and worst of Frampton, and they're probably too far too far away from each other. The two qualities, and his good games and his bad games. We know what his upper ceiling is. He's at his third club, so there's reason why Frampton's been delisted in the past. He did really well for us in 2023, and also played some really good games for Collingwood against St Kilda and Carlton this year, but the consistency is not there. Charlie Dean is still a question mark. He's still learning the ropes, but he's a little bit more undersized. That's why I think if Tomlinson comes to the club, surely he gets rite of passage and starts. I mean, what is your alternative? My alternative would be we go for Denver Granger Barras from Hawthorn, but I don't know if that's going to happen. That's my 2 cents there. Devil's advocate, right, is playing the side of bringing in these players in to play VFL is, well, we bring in these ready-made players, Tomlinson and Membrey. They're going to be waiting in the wings, nurturing the players in the VFL, and are ready to pounce on any form woes or injury debacles that could possibly happen. And we've also delisted Air and Kruger, so we need these taller players in. And I'm sure all is fine if Membrey and Tomlinson understand that they're not going to be walk-up starters, which I'm not saying they're going to be, that they should be on the cusp of that. But if the club's going to say they're a little bit further away from that, from the AFL side and closer to the VFL side, it doesn't make sense when you can go for younger players in delisted free agency and just reserve those spots or give opportunity for Reef McInnes, who averaged a goal and a half a game in under 50% time on ground. Just give him a genuine shot. The Tomlinson one, I think I'd rather find out more about Tomlinson in the black and white than Billy Frampton. Charlie Dean, if he has a good off-season, then great. I'd love to see him thrive and solidify that spot. What's another devil's advocate point of view? I mean, if Membrey comes to Collingwood, could Myercheck move to the back line? He was, what was he, an All-Australian in the VFL side for Port Melbourne as a centre-half back. Or would that be taking too much away from the forward line and what Brody Myercheck offers forward of centre? That's an interesting one. Or are you wanting to bring in a 32-year-old Myercheck into the back line as a stopgap in the sense that it probably won't last that long? It might last a year or two before he decides to retire. So there are these deep-seated issues that we will have to face at some point. We are here to win and we have a good opportunity to do that next year. But let's not take our eyes off this one. If we bring in Tomlinson and Membrey, it sounds like you guys are happy for them to be backups in the case of form woes and injury-stricken periods. Whereas I'm saying they should be starting, both of them, in the starting 23. Or, if that is not the case, then we should be going for something else to balance our list. Because that is not balancing our list, is it, when it comes to the age demographic? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I hope you made it to the end of this video, which would allow me to fully articulate my point. If you've just watched the first 30 seconds and comment, I see those comments and opinions effectively redundant, so don't bother. But thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you in the comment section. Go Pies.